guy said he doesn't eat snail. You know, conchs. You know what's conchs? Conchs are family to the snail. It's found in the ocean. Well, he said he doesn't eat snail. Somebody said, why? He said he only eats fast food. It's that kind of mentality I want to address, that God is not hurry. Philip Brooks, one of the great preachers, was pacing the floor one night, and his wife, 2 o'clock in the morning, said, honey, what are you doing? He said, I'm in a hurry, but it looks like God is not. I want you to be assured, God's on schedule and God's on time. God's never in a hurry. It's you and I who want to hustle God. And so that will not work. Let me read this text, and it's a beautiful text. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 18. Therefore will the Lord wait, that he may be, 1, gracious unto you, 2, that he will be exalted in your life, 3, he may have mercy upon you, 4, he's a Lord that is just. 5thly, blessed are all they that wait for him. Now watch the first phrase and watch the last phrase. And therefore will the Lord wait. Watch the last phrase. Blessed are all they that wait for him. There are 2 people waiting here. God is waiting on you while you are waiting on God. And that's my subject. The other side of waiting. When God waits for you. And why will God wait for you? The 2 sides of waiting. On this side, you are waiting for God. And on the other side, God is patiently waiting for you. The question I have for you for my theme is, who is holding back? Who is holding back your blessing? God has a blessing in store for you. But somebody is holding it back. Last week I merely mentioned that Daniel prayed, and the first day he prayed, God heard him. But the devil, the enemy, the prince of Persia, held it back for 21 days. The enemy could only hold back your blessing for a short period of time. But continuous prayer will make the item so hot that he won't be able to hold on to it for very long. He will have to release your blessing. So keep on praying. Are you with me? Give God the praise. The devil cannot hold back what God has been keeping for you. What shall I say? Paul said, if God be for us, who or what can be against us? Who could hold back the blessing from you? Shall life or death or angel or principalities or powers? Shall things that you've done in the past or things that you're yet to do, will that hold back your blessing? Paul says, nay, in all of these things we are more than conquerors. Listen to me. There is nobody, not your boss, can hold back your promotion. Not your envious neighbor could stop you from making progress in your house. Not your in-law, nor your outlaw could stop the blessings of God. I say to you, what God has for you, nobody can take it away. Amen. So who is holding back your blessing? The one you've been praying for. The big one. You are blessed every day. You have food. And not one of you here, as I look at you, look like you've been starving. You have had food every day. Shoes, clothes galore. You have a ride. You got gas. You have a job. You come back to a loving family. Every day you are blessed. Confess it. Say, I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. And as the bumper sticker says, I am too blessed to be stressed. Confess it, say it. I am too blessed to be stressed. But between you and I, there is something you've been longing for. There is something you've been praying hard for, you want to see. It's not happening. The big thing is not happening. A lot of small things are happening. And somebody is holding that blessing back from you. Do you want to know who that somebody is? That somebody is nobody else but you. You're the only one who can hold back the blessing. Now that's why the first phrase says, the Lord is waiting on you. Therefore the Lord will wait. He's waiting on you to do at least five things. And if you don't come to him, he is not going to come to you, because he's already done that at Calvary. God has left heaven and come down to earth and placed a meeting place so you and him can meet. And if you don't come there, he's not coming to you. Therefore, he will wait. He will wait until you get tired, until you get frustrated, until you do everything foolish like Saul. But he's waiting. How many of you remember back home we had at the street corner a standpipe? You know what a standpipe is? It's in every corner we had 4 blocks, and every corner had a standpipe. And it was always gushing with water. And we had to go to the standpipe, carry our buckets and our oil can. You know, the big 10-gallon oil pan, and we used to put a little handle in between and nail it up like that and hold it. I used to carry that on my head from 8 years old. I toted water on my head. My father loved plants, and I had to water all them plants. And so, one thing I noticed, that standpipe stayed one place. It never moved. No matter how much I called it and said, standpipe, come by my house one day and give me a little break. It will not move. It is fixed. It is staying there. If you want water, you have to go to where it's at. I am telling you, there are something God is not going to come down and beg you for. He has already spoken. He stands firm and he stands solid. He sits on his throne. He's opened it up and said, come. I have no reservations. Paul says, we have free access to the throne of mercy. You don't come there, he's not coming to you. I want you. That's why it says, therefore, the Lord will wait. So why will he wait? Simply because you are not ready to receive the big blessing. You are a rich father. You have a 16-year-old son. You know he loved cars. So you did a marvelous job. You souped up this car. You made it flashy. You so love your son, you want to give him the best car on the block. But the boy doesn't listen to you. You told him not to speed with the old car. He speeds. He got so many tickets. You spoke to him. You want to give him the car. You want him to be happy. But as a wise father, you cannot give him the car because he is going to abuse it, misuse it, and hurt himself. He is not ready to receive your big gift. And on top of that, the boy is... You can't be a wise father and watch your son or child on drugs and say, here, take this car. you will be damaging and hurting that child. You will wait until the child becomes mature, until the child becomes responsible, until the child has some respect for you, until the child decides to obey you. And when the child obeys you, and when you see the child have changed and the child have matured and behaved like a man, then one day you will hand him the keys and you will bless him, because by that time he is ready to receive the blessings. That is why he says, when the fullness of time came, God sent his son. God is always on time. He will wait, and he will wait for the right time. And God knows the right time. You may hustle God, and you may bark at God, and you may criticize God, and you may say, God, why? Why this? Why that? God's not bothering until you come to him. Are you following me? Can you say a better amen than that? Amen. Therefore the Lord will wait, and you can't outwait him. You said you've been waiting on God, and that's wonderful. But there are two sides of waiting. You waiting on God, and God's waiting on you. What is he waiting on you for? One thing. God wants one thing from you. If you name yourself a Christian, you got to understand that the word Christ means anointed, and a Christian means an anointed one. A Christian, therefore, is an anointed person. If you're not anointed, you're not a Christian. Let's get that clear. You are a church goer. If you haven't taken up your cross and followed Jesus, you are not a Christian. You are a church goer. You're a church member. If any man will be my disciple, my follower, learn after me, come after me, let him take up his cross and follow me. You can't follow Jesus with a bouquet of roses. It's a cross you've got to take up and follow him. He is waiting for you to decide to take up that cross and come. And when you take up the cross, you will find such kind of blessing earth has nothing to compare with. He's waiting for your absolute surrender. You can't ride two horses at the same time. You can't come to church and live in the world at the same time. You can't say you love God on Sunday and the rest of the week you love the world. God hates the world and everything in it is the enemy of God. The world is an enemy of God, and he who loves the world becomes an enemy of God. And if you love the world and the things of the world, you become an enemy of God, and God and you will not be on good terms. God is waiting for your surrender. He's waiting for your absolute commitment to him. This is why the blessing is not happening. Because when you say, Lord, and be careful, don't make this prayer until you're ready to suffer. Because the prayer will bring suffering in your life. Because suffering is a pathway to glory. Suffering is a pathway to perfection. Jesus learned things by the things he suffered. You will have to arm yourself mentally to suffer. As Peter says, suffering is part of the program, that I might know him in the power of his resurrection and in the fellowship of his suffering, that I might be conformed to his death. You cannot escape suffering, but it's not going to come to you just like that until you say, Lord, here I am, work your cross in me, work your glory in me. And then, if you make that surrender, listen to what trouble you're going to get. First thing he's going to do is tie you to the horns of the altar. Because some of the sheep or goat, when they were being offered, and the knife comes into, there are two ways to kill them. One, they will cut the neck and catch the blood. That's for the Day of Atonement. But the other times, they will lift the leg and take the knife or a sharp, what we call a poker, a long piece of steel sharp, and pound it inside until it reaches the heart and punctures the heart and bleeds the heart. That is what happened to Jesus when the soldier took the spear and pushed it under the fifth rib, it reached the heart and punctured the heart. And so that's the time when the sheep and the animal begins to prance up and will jump off that altar when the pain hits him, when the agony comes, or when the hurting begins. If that creature wasn't tied to the horns of the altar, he would run away to his own hurt. That is why God have to tie you down with some kind of circumstance from which you cannot extricate yourself or move. So when you surrender, expect this. Expect tie down. First thing you're going to lose is your liberty. You can't run all about as you like and roam. You're now committed to God's process. God's taking the things out of you. He's going to operate like a surgeon. Take out the flesh, the anger, the enmity, the hatred, the gossip, the malice, everything that's ugly and Adamic, he's going to begin to take out of you. You're in for some big trouble here. Good trouble. That is what he's waiting for, because he cannot